Welcome to Game Pass News, recorded June 21st. It's a Tuesday. The news is light, but we're going to talk about something. We're going to have all kinds of fun today. We're going to talk about why the heck is everybody so mean to Starfield? I don't even get it. And why the hell do I have to log in 4 times just to play Fall Guys? I don't know. I'm not very happy about much today, but let's have a show, Sean. By the way, if you're new, I'm Nick and this is Sean. Sorry. Just so you know, my co-host Sean over here. I was like, let's do this thing.
I was literally going to try and steal that and say, hey, it's Sean Abbott from Game Pass News, and I'm joined tonight with Kranky Con.
Yeah, it has been. We've been on for about half an hour, and I have been cranky most of it. It's true. I can't. You can't argue that.
£20 like no sugar, cranky as hell.
maybe that's it. It's this no carb shit. You know, it's like I got nothing. I'm just like, I'll chew your head off. Come here. Don't worry about it. It's the dad's fault. Thank you, by the way. It's great to be 20 pounds lighter. Also,
how are you doing, man? How are you doing?
Listen, it's been a little crazy busy trying to get ready for vacation. By the way, Sean's by himself next week, just so you know. Maybe he'll talk about that later. So I'm getting ready for vacation to go visit some family in Illinois. Tons of events going on at work. Really excited. And I mean, seriously, actually, it hasn't been horrible, but it is. I hit 20 pounds. Sean, between the two of us, what did you say? We've lost 5 original Xboxes. Is that what you said?
4. Almost 4 original Xboxes.
Almost 4 original Xboxes. Look at that. I mean, my gosh, that's fantastic. Maybe we should just tape them to ourselves so we can get a feel for what that was like. No, we should do that. So yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. How about you?
Yeah. I mean, I shared a pretty gruesome life story in the Discord chat regarding my toilet issues today. That was pretty. But yeah, I mean, off the back of a crazy week last week, not done much gaming other than playing Strikers at work. So yeah, we've got quite a few things coming up. So Lindsay's got her operation planned for this Thursday. So we got the kids all sorted out for that. They're all disappearing off to different family members tomorrow. But yeah, that's about planning for Lindsay's going away with Logan for a long weekend. They're flying off to Greece at the end of the month, so we're kind of just trying to get ready for everything else.
Yeah, I get the whole getting ready for trip stuff. I vacuumed. Can I tell you? I vacuumed out the van and then I did the Armor All thing and all that. I don't know why we do this before we go on a trip, just so that the kids can trash it by the time we come home. I don't really know why. It's just a thing we do. As I was doing it, I was like, we really should just drive away in the shitty van that we haven't vacuumed out for a year and then clean it when we get back. But we don't. We do it the other way. But whoever made the cup holders and all the little like rubber pieces that can come out of a car, that man needs or woman, whoever needs a Nobel Prize. Okay, I mean the fact I remember back in the day trying to like get your hands in the cup holder to like wash it out, it was like impossible. That man's amazing, or woman, like I said. I mean, it's great. It probably was a woman, by the way. She's like, it probably was. Like, ain't no man figured that out. She's like, listen, like, and so yeah, you pull those out. It's super easy. Wash them, then put them right back in. It's fantastic. So that's my sidebar. There you go. But
see, yeah. I'm only the same. If even if we're going on holiday and the car's going to be parked in an airport car park for 2 weeks, that car will be the shiniest, cleanest looking car in the car park for 2 weeks. Like it's covered in rain and shit and everything else. It's like, yeah. I don't know why I do it. It's a sense of I'm going away. We're in a nice clean car. It's that whole kind of thing.
Yeah. But, yeah. I mean, we're driving for like 6 hours one way with 2 kids. Like by the time we're done, it's gonna look like crap by the time we get to where we're going. Like, I mean, no doubt. Like, no doubt. And then after a week of like driving around and to different attractions and blah 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 and all that, and by the time we get home, it's probably gonna look worse than what it. No, it couldn't have looked worse than what it did. I carried like, I don't know, probably 55 gallon trash cans full of sawdust about 2 months ago in the back of the van, like many trips, not one trip, but many trips of like 3 cans. And so yeah, it really looked like somebody had taken a tree in the van and sawed it up right there in the back. So that was a real pain to get out, but we did. So there you go.
Super absorbent. At least there's no like damp or anything in the car.
That's right. So yeah, I'm excited to be gone. I'm excited to listen to what Sean's got planned or what he's going to be doing next week. Yeah, but top stories. Like I said, there's not a lot of news here, guys. But ID Xbox, I'm just gonna become cranky real quick, is holding an indie Let's Play showcase from today, which, if you're listening to this, it's Tuesday, June 21st through June 27th, showcasing 34 games that are coming, plus 11 new announcements. What? Why, Sean? Why?
I don't know. They had a showcase of like literally 2 weeks ago, a week ago now. Kind of feels like forever. Why didn't they just show them that?
Well, even if they want to be like, listen, we want to separate the indies from the big guys, which is kind of sketchy because some of the stuff they showed seemed like indies to me. But whatever. Even if they want to separate these for whatever reason, it just, it fits what they want to do. Why are they doing it over 6 days? It's like saying, hey, we got stuff that we want you to see that we would love for you to buy or know about or whatever, but we're going to hide it and you're going to have to find it over 6 days. So hopefully you can find it. We're just going to see it. Oh, it's gone now. Oh, see it. Oh, it's gone. I mean, come on, man. Just it's 34 games. Put out a hot, a sizzle reel of these 34 games over, I don't know, 10 minutes. Let me see them. Like, just put them out there. I don't know, man. It seems weird to me. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've highlighted, so there's a link in our doc for this. They've highlighted the 11 games, the first top games, with a nice description of each game, which I'm not going to read through because we'll be here for a while. It'd be really, really boring. But I can kind of understand from a developer's point of view, this is a great opportunity. So the small indie developers get the whole Xbox name to showcase their new game, and people are going to do a Let's Play, which is really good for getting a good feel of how a game's going to be when you first pick it up. So to me, yeah, it's an extended look. It doesn't need to be an extended look. This could be like a weekly or twice a week, just a video drop on YouTube of the Let's Play rather than just one big long event. I don't know how that's going to work in terms of like, are they going to constantly be streaming it around the clock? Because obviously some of these developers are from different parts of the world.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it's going to work. It doesn't really give you a lot of information.
Oh, it's stupid. I mean, it's stupid to me. I mean, I expected when I clicked on this, to be fair, I hadn't clicked on the article. It is nice that you know the games, but I expected when I clicked on this, they would give me like a stream schedule. But there's not even that. By the way, one of these games was showed off somewhere. This Metal Hellsinger game, the guy with the what looks like a bullet in the middle of his forehead. Real attractive feller, let me tell you. So yeah, I think some of this was showing off at some version of Summer Game Fest or IGN's game.
Sorry, they've shown it off as a showcase, Summer Game Event demo. It's a demo event. Show. I've read this wrong. So the games are going to be demos that you're going to be able to play between now and the 27th, not them just showing.
Well, now I can't be as cranky, Sean. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Shit. Well,
this is what you get for very quickly scanning something.
Okay, so these are all demos that you can play right now up until like the 27th. That's kind of crappy that it's just 6 days, but I still want to be pissed about something, so I'll find some way to be pissed at this shit. But that's cool. Okay, all right. That's a lot of demos. I mean, wow. Yeah. Okay. By the way, people, if you're in chat, if somebody can give me a number through 1 through 7, that would be great. Just pick a number, 1 through 7. I don't care what it is. Discord's failing me at the moment and not doing that. Come on, Discord. What are you doing? Eating or something? Just pick a number, put it in chat. It's for a thing. You'll know once you put the number in chat. I promise. It's nothing bad. All right. Yeah, I think this is cool. They've done this before. Like I said, I think it needs like 2 weeks or something like that. But I'll take it. Simple Monk gives me number 6, and number 6. I'm not. My camera is not good enough to focus. Number 6 is Hypecaster. Also, my writing is shit. Let me just be honest with you. Hypecaster is going to win $15. This is for the showcase deal we did, where we where everybody said what they thought the first game would be. Nobody got it right. It was Redfall. Nobody picked Redfall. Who would have thought? But 7 people entered. Simple Monk being one of them, but you're number 3 on my list, Simple Monk, just so you know. Hypecaster is number 6. So there you go. We will get him a $15 eShop card. It was something I've been meant to do last week and forgot because we had so much to talk about. And this week I remembered because we ain't got crap to talk about, really. So that's cool. So what do you? So in Game Pass right now, we got Omori. Is Omori the right way to say that?
Omori, yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's like a pixelated horror or psychological horror game is how it's been described to me. What do you think of this? Like, and nobody knew crap about it. It just kind of dropped out of nowhere. I tweeted. I was like, did I miss this? Did anybody know? And everybody's like, nah, nobody knew. I was like, okay. What do you think about that?
It literally just came out of nowhere. I think the first thing they did was they put a YouTube video out, and then Twitter followed shortly after, and so did the Xbox Wire, which is like the main news thing that comes from like Microsoft Xbox itself. I don't know. I don't know if it was kind of overlooked. They were, getting everything ready for the showcase, all that kind of information they needed doing, probably rehearsals, making sure that were games definitely ready when they say they were going to be ready, or with the stuff that they could. I bet there was lots of changes regards the showcase that came. So I think this is just an oversight, but I also have a feeling that this might happen quite a few times prior to them getting the ships in the correct order, or the ducks in a line, or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand why they're doing this. Just to be fair, like it doesn't make sense to me. Like let us know what we're playing. That's what makes sense to me. Let us know what's available, what's going to be out, so that I can decide what I want to play next. But I mean, am I glad that it's there? I mean, it's not something that I'm going to play, but sure, I'd rather have something there than not there. I still feel like something fell through in the showcase. They cleared the back half of June, and to be fair, it's starting to fill out a little bit. So we did get Shredder's Revenge, Amari. We got Shadowrun Trilogy out today. Total War 3 Kingdoms out on the 21st. Elder Scrolls Online, Naraka, Blade Point, Escape Academy is what the second half of June is. I mean, I don't know. I guess I really can't complain about that. They're just not games for me, I guess, as I look at it, as I take a second look at it, to be honest. That's not a horrible list for like 2 weeks of time, to be honest.
No, it's not. And to think things like you've got the amount of hype that was there for Shredders. You've got Fall Guys, which has come free to play.
Yeah.
Because that's not on the list, because we've only got listed there what's available at Game Pass. So you've got Fall Guys that's coming. So there's plenty to be playing. Just, yeah.
Yeah, it was just weird. It was just weird how they like stopped on the showcase date, and then like you were waiting. So how much of this was released on Naraka, I believe, is the and Elder Scrolls Online. But we already knew about Elder Scrolls Online before. But those two were the only two that showed up on the showcase, I believe.
Escape Academy was there as well.
Was it? Well, God, darn it.
No, it was. That was on the summer showcase.
See? Just what I said. You could have taught. You could have got me to believe either way, to be honest. It was too much. There was too much crap. I couldn't keep track. Um, yeah, it just felt like there. I don't know. It felt like there's something. The big thing on here for me is Shredder's Revenge. Now I know a lot of people are super excited about Naraka Blade Point, because it's the first time it's coming to console, as I understand it. It looks like a Fortnite with samurais, basically, is how it seems to me. There's like 60 people on a map, and you're going to town to see who can hold out.
Yeah, it's huge. It's been huge in the PC world. So like I think it was on Steam prior. So it's been absolutely huge on there prior to it becoming a console game. And I think they're really excited. They're really excited to get it on the console because it's going to broaden the horizon. There's all the cross-play availability and stuff like that. So I think they are just they seemed really excited about it during the showcase. So
yeah, and I'm really excited. I'm really anything that kind of starts to bring people into Game Pass, broaden that, like you're saying, that the player base, people who are into that kind of thing. I think that's great. I think that's awesome. I'm all here for it. So no problems on my side. I think Shadowrun Trilogy is another one of those games, not for me, but it sure seems to be for a good number of people out there. All right. So next thing I wanted to chat with you about. I listened to a good bit of Xbox podcasts just to kind of get the feel of what other people are talking about, kind of test to see if if I'm thinking the right way and all this jazz. And man, let me tell you, there's a lot of crapping on Starfield in most of these podcasts at this moment. Like, it looks too much like No Man's Sky. The particle effects are blah blah blah. It's gonna be boring. They showed it the wrong way. Are we just critical sometimes? And I'm guilty probably of it. I'm definitely guilty of it. Are we just critical of it sometimes just to be critical of it? Like,
I feel people because it's boasting to be such a large game with so many different variables. I think people are more inclined to pull it apart. And then I've got that horrible comparison that, No Man's Sky was supposed to be this really wide open style game in space, and it was an absolute bag of spanners when it first came out. But yeah, then you've also got people who got bad taste, like Cyberpunk 2077 was supposed to be this really huge new RPG style game that came out, and that was about as much use as a chocolate fire guard when it was released. So I think people are being very critical. I think because it's been pushed and people are having to wait that little bit longer, they probably feel like there's a sour taste in the mouth about having to wait that little bit longer. Why isn't the game being finished? If they had lots of issues, which means that we are going to be handed a somewhat polished turd rather than a fully finished game. I just realized they use so many different metaphors there.
Wait. Speaking of metaphors, before you go on, what is a spanner? Okay, I need to know what you said. A bag of spanners. I don't know what a spanner is.
For you, it'd be a wrench.
A wrench. Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Let's.
The old cultural divide.
Yeah, exactly. I had to know. I was gonna let it go, but I just couldn't. So
yeah. I mean, I'm worried about the game. I'm worried that yes, there's gonna be so much to do, you get lost in it. Which then,
isn't that what you want?
You try. I know that's the thing, though. I don't know. Sometimes I come across those games, and because there's so much to do, you end up getting lost in the game so quick. It's like I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. It's the issue I had with Elder Scrolls Online. There was no guidance into how you should start to play the game a little bit to then give you the free reign. So it's kind of like, how's the game going to start? What's the story going to be at this beginning? And are they going to make everything available all at once, and you kind of just get this overload of, I can go do this, I can go do that? Or is it a case of, you have to play the game a little bit on rails first to get an idea of how the game plays and what you're supposed to be doing each time you get to somewhere?
No, I don't know if you saw. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Before they give you like the full open, here you go. See you later.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, they did say that the campaign mode would be somewhere between 30, I believe 30 to 40 hours. So I think there's going to be a solid, I don't know if campaign modes or the story mode, the story, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know, however you want to say it. The story will be somewhere around 30 to 40 hours. So I think there will be a solid, like, this is what you got to do if you want to just like bop from place to place and get done what you need to get done. Um, and I think maybe a little bit of that. These developers need to start realizing, I think, that there are a lot of people who don't want huge 500-hour experiences. Not that they shouldn't be available, but the same thing happened with Dying Light, right? The Dying Light led with like, this is a 500-hour video game, and everybody was like, bah, nobody wants 500 hours. I'm not gonna play that game. And they're like, wait. You can finish in like 50, but I mean, it's like you could play it for 500, you know. And so it's like, I think that these developers or publishers need to realize they need to show both sides of this coin, and they certainly didn't. The whole idea was like, we have 10 million planets, and you can go to them all. Also, they said you'll know which ones aren't procedurally generated, which kind of sounded like that like old style cigarette warning when in a commercial. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
You'll know that some of these are not procedurally generated. I'm really excited for this game. I've watched the trailer again. I suck at seeing particle effect frame rate issues. It's not my gig. So it all looks good to me. And I'm just here to say I think it's nitpicky is what I think, to be honest. I think we're just,
and I think that comes from the fact that it's been pushed and people have got that time to be nitpicky. It's like there's a absolute ton of games coming out over the next 12 months, depending on, doesn't matter on which platform you're on, apart from Nintendo, because we haven't heard anything from them yet. So it's like, I've lost my train of thought. So yeah, sorry. There's an absolute ton of games coming out over the next 12 months to play, but people are, and a lot of them were great games, you know, for whichever game style you like to play, whatever genre you like to play. There is a game for you coming out over the next 12 months, which you can be really excited for. Which I think then leads me to believe that people who then see this is like, this game's going to be huge. I think it's going to propel the studio in a really good direction when it does fall. I think Bethesda have put a lot of time and effort into this, and I think that's what draws people into pulling it apart, because you know, they want to be critical of this stuff, and it's just yeah,
I'll be interested to see what it is, but at the moment I'll be interested to see more. And I think maybe Bethesda is suffers from their, like, we have a big game coming out, big game's coming out, oh, let's start doing these diary videos, you know. And so it's like, maybe they need to go back to PR and start thinking and marketing and start thinking about, like, and I know it's hard because their games take forever to make, but like, when do we start the hype train, right? I mean, like, when maybe we shouldn't, like, what did he say? He's like, Fallout 5 is coming right after you know, like, I'm gonna be 100 before we see Fallout 5.
Yeah,
like, we're gonna be like,
I mean, if you want to get in comparison, High on Life, which I think is going to be an absolutely fantastic game, I knew nothing of it until the showcase, and then we saw this really cool trailer with, you know, really quirky kind of bits and pieces of information, and I'm really excited for that game. And I currently haven't seen anything that I think, oh, that might be, you know, what is that all about? There's nothing to nitpick, because I've kind of gone from not knowing about the game to knowing about the game to being excited and it coming soon. It's like,
yeah, that's the way to do it. I think Bethesda, though, struggles with, like, well, you know, then we're just going to be silent for like 5 years, basically, and that's that they don't want to be that, to be like everybody's. And then after like a year of that, everybody's like, where's Bethesda? Bethesda's not doing good. Bethesda's not doing anything. Oh my goodness, Bethesda, where's Bethesda? And it's just like, I think they're trying to figure out, how do we play this to where like we don't start that hype cycle too early. We tell them that we're working on something. And I see why they're in a tough spot when it takes 7+ years to make their games. Like, it's like, I mean, look at what's going on now with Nintendo, and they were like, Metroid 4, boom, Metroid Prime 4, and then they're like, oh wait, nope, never mind. Now everybody's like, is it coming? Where's it at? And you're like, just like, leave me alone, okay? We told you it's gonna be a while. And so, yeah, I think they suffer from that. By the way, in these podcasts, there are a ton of people that say that they think that, including Sean Capri and also GameScoop said the same thing. They believe that this game is 11-11-23. What do you think? You think there's a chance he gets pushed again?
You hope to hell it's not.
I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment.
Oh man, for them to have given a date and it then gone past that date, to then give us these games are coming out in the next 12 to 18 months. It's kind of like, have they given themselves a little bit of wiggle room? Because to say next 12 months, that's June to June.
Mm-hmm. They've given themselves 6 months of wiggle room. That's exactly how much wiggle room they've given themselves. This game's going to come out on 6/31/23. That's what it's going to. I don't even know. Is there a 31? I don't know if there is. It's going to come on the last day of June. They're going to be like, we made it. We did what we said we would. Yeah, well, I don't know.
It's going to be a huge blockbuster game, isn't it? So when do you want this blockbuster game to come out? Just before summer or just before winter? Because that's when most of the big ones drop.
Yeah, I don't care. I just don't want it to be Cyberpunk. That's what I'm going to say. Like, I mean, and I'll stand by that. I'll be up. I don't know if I'll be upset. I'll be disappointed, frustrated for sure if they push it to 11-11-23. But if it comes out on 11-11-23 and it's polished and stellar and I enjoy my experience, rather than it coming out on 5/23, coming out May 23, then by golly, I'll take it. I will wait the 6 months for that game. But we'll have to wait and see. But that's my hope. My hope is that it comes out polished. If I gotta wait for it, I said 15 games are getting pushed out of those 50, getting pushed into the next year, out of June 23. I still believe it's gonna happen. So we'll see if they can make it happen. Top stories. Any other top stories you got, Sean?
Nope.
Well, we have not talked about what we've been playing for 2 weeks because the showcase talk went so long. So let's get going into our spotlight.
I didn't know if you were going to remember to use the transition then or not.
I know I forgot the top stories when I'm sorry. I was salty and I couldn't help it. We have almost maybe all crossover. So I don't know. You pick, Woo-hoo! Sean. You start, and we've played the same games basically.
That doesn't happen very often. So
no, it really doesn't.
Deserves a little small celebration.
Yeah.
Let's start with Ori Will of the Wisps. I know you finished the game.
Did.
Yep. That's number 34 or 33 on your list. I can't remember which way around they came.
Yeah, something like that. 33 games this year so far I've finished. Boom. Take that, backlog. Sorry. I don't know. Feeling weird today, man. I can't help it.
So yeah, I'm not as far as you. I think I'm about halfway through the game. I've got 2 of the 4 wisps that I need to rescue. Before we started, I kind of started wandering into the Luma pools to go and get the next one. So yeah, I absolutely love this game. I could play it, and I mean, like, I feel like when I'm getting lost in the game and I don't know what direction I'm going, I immediately start looking at the map and I'm like, oh, I've missed energy, like the little energy things and the health things and the stuff like that. Oh, I'm gonna have to go and get all those different bits and pieces and get sorted, and like I'll hopefully stumble across where I'm supposed to go. So definitely playing it as a Metroid game is a lot of fun.
I I love what Moon Studios does with Ori. I think so. What do you think? You played Blind Forest just recently. You just beat it.
They took this to another level. The
Okay.
movement, the
Yep.
the speed of the game. So if it takes a while for Blind Forest to kind of ramp up with like the different abilities that you can get. This one seems to go quite quickly, but then pushes your ability to use all those abilities at the same time. So like
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently finding that I'm having to like use an ability while I'm in the midair, hold down the left trigger, change to a different ability to then, and I love that. I like that. I like the whole having to think about the next couple of actions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and then adding those races in as well, those spirit races.
Yeah.
I'm loving those as well.
Yeah, they are fun. Yeah, I agree with that. That was my take. It had been longer. It's been, probably a year or so since I played Blind Forest. But yeah, I think this game is a next level. Man, like I have trouble when I think of like Metroidvanias. I think of like Dread and Will o' the Wisps. I mean, they're very different, but if I gotta rank them, it's very hard to rank them. The only thing I like about Dread better is, and I've said this a lot on this show, Dread figured out how to do multiple actions using that controller, and I love that about Dread. It's hard to get your mind around, but when you do, man, it's so good to not have that wheel to be like, okay, now make this one my three. That does get frustrating in Will o' the Wisps when you gotta like keep bopping back and forth between which is your three, and what you're doing. So,
Yeah, like
button
I
mapping.
keep the sword and the heavy smash there constantly. So that's X and B. And I use Y for the next other like powers that I need to use, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that like Y is my rotation, and that's mainly because the paddles on the back of the controller, the right back paddle is set to X and the right left paddle set to Y. So when I'm jumping around, I barely have to move my thumb. So which I think gives a good edge.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to keep the sword as X, the heal as Y, and either I was keeping the bow as B, but then I got the fireball. Spoilers for anybody. But
Yeah, I'm at that.
but
I've got that now. So
yeah. But I got the fireball now because that comes in so handy. Like you don't have to
yeah,
try to
the
wait for
the
who
ability,
can get you where. You can just use that.
yeah, the ability to
Yeah.
move yourself around. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I was sat playing it yesterday night, and Emily, the youngest daughter, was kind of like sat watching, and she kind of just said, "How do you know what to do next?" She's like, "Because I was
Yeah.
making this little guy like bounce and flip and whiz across, like floating past spikes to then bounce off walls," and she was just like, how do you know what to do next?" And so it's that muscle memory of the game, like knowing
Yep.
what. And I love that. So if you want, I can't compare them side by side. Dread and Ori. I
Mm.
think Dread is his own entity completely, as well as Ori is. And Ori for me is going down in that list of games of something that I will come back to every now and then. Like I've gone back to Dread after like 8 months and played it through again and did like
Mm-hmm.
little speed runs. I'm learning bits and pieces with it still, but then gone back through and finished it on Dread mode. I have a feeling I'm going to go back and play Ari again and again and again, just because it's one of those games that I could do that with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Um, I don't know that I'd go back. I just don't go back to games very often. Like I just don't. But man, I am really interested to see what Moon Studios has next. Whether it be Ori or whatever, they've talked about what they're doing next, and I don't remember. They don't. It's not named, but I think it's a 3D, if I remember correctly, 3D platformer. So I'm excited to have them kind of tell us more about that. So great studio. All right, what's next,
Yeah.
Sean?
You want to just talk about Fall Guys very quickly?
Yeah,
Because you only had a hot second with it, and
I
I've not
did.
played. as much. So
Yeah, and by the way, we are going to when we're done with the podcast and the showcase, we are going to suspend the stream for a little bit, and we're going to play some Fall Guys. Sean and I jump on there, and so you guys can hang out with us, play or watch a little bit of that. Do a duo or something. Maybe we'll fight against each other. I don't know. We'll figure it
out. So this game's brilliant. It's so simple. I was telling Lindsay about it. Like I played a couple of rounds in front of her. I was like, I think this is a game you could play and you'd maybe enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as I started playing it and she saw what was going on, she's like, no, the anxiety level for this is just too high for me. I'll be like, she's massively competitive, and like she would just be like, she would hold her breath throughout the whole entire thing until she gets to the finish line. So
now there's
super
just
simple.
the stick, right, and the jump button. Is that right? I mean, I only played one round. That's all I've played.
So yeah,
before we jumped on.
You've got your usual like analog stick scenario. So left stick for the controls, right stick for the camera. Yeah. You've got A, which does like an upwards jump.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got X, which does like a dive, which is really useful.
I did not know about the dive. Okay.
And then you've got the right trigger, and using the right trigger, you can hold another player.
What? I did not know. Okay. So now you're getting kind of gang beastie type stuff where you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
But only for a short period, which like I'd got to the last round of one of the, I think they call them shows, don't they? So I got to the last round of one of the shows, and there was me and 3 guys left, and I was watching this one guy kept trying to hold me and like hold me in place so I get hit off, and I was kind of like, if you mash the A button really quickly, you can kind of bat them off and then jump at the same time. So I did that, and he got knocked out, and I was like, that's a really good strategy. I'm going to do that. So I grabbed hold of another guy, and within 3 seconds, I'd fallen off. So it's good, but it's also quite difficult to master for that. That's the only aspect of the game, I think, where there's skill. It's just the rest of the time it is literally just not blind luck because you can see what's coming, but it's kind of just timing your jump right and hoping that you don't get smashed off the side or things like that. There's a couple of game modes that I don't like, where you have to like jump through hoops to score points to qualify. They take a lot longer to play, and I don't find them as fun as the race from end to end, or just kind of survive for a set amount of time on a moving obstacle.
Sure. Do you ever play? Can you ever play couch co-op-y? Like, is there anything like that, or are you always just your own guy? It makes sense if you were. I mean, I know it's kind of like an online-based game.
I haven't looked at that yet.
Okay. So either way, it's free to play. So if you got and it's cross-platform. So I mean, even here in the house, we would have 4 ways to play: 3 Switches and the Xbox. So
yeah, I mean, I'm going to suggest it to Emily's mum, that she can download it on a Switch, because I think it's a game that she'll enjoy. She's a big Roblox fan, so, and I kind of said this to Jay. I said, I've watched you play games like this on Roblox, so this probably a natural progression for you to start playing and enjoy.
And I think they'll get me too, Sean. I know you said you bought the season pass. I think they'll get me too. I'll probably pick up the season pass at least once. I do this quite often with games. I'll pick a game that like interests me and I kind of get into. I'll pick up the season pass, see how long I'm into it, and then maybe pick up the next one or something like that.
I mean, the unlock you get straight away when you purchase the season pass is you can dress your character up as the guy from Assassin's Creed.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's like the first skin that you automatically unlock.
That's interesting.
I think it's good for the fact that you can you get more unlocks and you quicker if you've got the season pass. So buying that first one is always fun because you get different skins and tags that you can use and accolades and stuff like that. So it's just nice to get that bit of personalization, I think, out of the game straight away.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was trying to see if I could figure out how to get the Master Chief stuff for our listeners, because I haven't done it yet.
Neither have I, and there isn't anything that's jumped out. straight away at me. So,
as mentioned, unlocking the Master Chief skin will be one of the rewards of completing challenges in Spartan Showdown. However, the specifics of the challenges as well as the requirements have not yet been revealed. Additionally, okay, so when was this article? How long ago?
I think that's something that's coming soon. I think maybe after the weekend.
All right, it doesn't say when. It doesn't say when he. Oh, published on June 21st. So today. Okay, so it sounds like we don't entirely know, but there is a new mode called Spartan Showdown apparently, and so all right. So no help there. Sorry, guys. But yeah, no, I'm excited to get into it. I'm excited to play it with Noah and see what he thinks. Also, we're going to a family who has 2 Switches, so I could see us playing it at night or something like that where we're vacationing. So yeah, could be lots of fun. I'm really interested in this one. I've always wanted to play it. My little hot second with it, I was laughing, I was having fun. It was just fun, right? I mean, that's what video games are supposed to be.
It's challenging enough to be to bring you in every single time to think, okay, I can get further this time, I can do that better this time, but also just absolute bedlam. That first round where there's 55 to 60 people, it's just bedlam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, craziness. Well, Sean, I'm going to pick the next one because I want to kind of have a contrast of online game here. Okay, so Sean knows which one I'm going to pick. The game we have both been playing on different clubs, by the way. I'm playing in the Retro Logic Club. Shout out to them. Not helping them one iota. No, that's not true. I've lost a lot of games for them. Is Mario Strikers. Man, my hype level for this game was too high. I hope I'm not here saying the same thing when Starfield comes out. Now after having our previous conversation, I know I'll get all kinds of shit for this, and that's okay. And it's not that the game is probably bad. It's just that I suck, and I don't want to put in the time to get good enough to feel like it's worth my time on online. And there's no ranking system that I can see for me to be matched with somebody who isn't freaking amazing. I played 8 games last night and I got owned 8 times. Literally, there were times where I was like, I'm just going to put this down and you just do whatever you want to do. Like, I can't even do anything. My guys are getting knocked down so quick. And it was like, I don't know, man. It was not, I was not like, here's the difference. Fall Guys, I was losing, but I was still laughing and having fun. I was not laughing nor having fun while I was getting my ass handed to me in Strikers over and over and over again. It was just like, all right, this has lost any amount of interest to me to play, because I saw no way to get better. Like I don't know, man. I was real frustrated. Yeah. I went and played Switch Sports because I was like, this is a better soccer game to me. I have more fun playing Switch Sports Soccer with a group of randoms than I do playing Strikers Soccer at the moment. And maybe it'll change, but at the moment, that's where I'm at. So you tell me if I'm right or wrong.
I was going to say I think after this first week, and we, because everybody started out at the same level, everybody's a bronze club, and I feel that you're going to get that division quite quickly. So if you're but only at the club level. So if everyone else in your club's still pretty good and you proceed to the silver, you then going to be against people that are in the silver. So
yeah, and that sounds horrible.
Yeah, and I share the same frustration. Like last night, I nearly put the Switch in the bath, kind of literally wanting to drown it. I'm okay with the game, so I'd say I'm
Switch over Strikers. Yeah. I like it.
I'd say for every 10 matches that I play, I'm winning 6 of the 10.
Oh, hell, you're great. You're amazing. Good job.
So I'm doing, but I've played like 40 matches for the Dads After Dark, and my win to loss ratio is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I was telling you, when I start a match and I see the guy's played like 75 matches, he's 150, I'm like, oh, F this. This is going to be a shit match. I'm going to just like I'm not going to have a chance in hell. It just is really, I don't know. It's why I stay away from many shooters. Like, I just own the fact that I am not really good at online shooters compared to the rest of the world. And I don't know, but it's unfortunate because a lot of those online shooters are like Fortnite, where at the most I put in $10 for a season pass that I'm never going to get back. Fine. I put in $60 to this game, and I ain't never getting that back because I bought it digital because I really thought I'd like it. That's on me, and I'll live with it. But this one's hard
so what
to
you're saying
swallow.
is you Elden Ringed Mario Strikers.
I did, but I didn't want to. That's it. Like when I bought Elden Ring, I knew, hey, this could be a donation. Never played a Souls game. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. This could be a donation to a nice developer, and I'll walk away happy. And I did. I was not a game for me. I will never buy a Souls game again. I don't get anything out of it. Nope, and nope it. But I didn't walk into this with that theory at all, but that's where I'm at. And I feel like if they put a personal ranking system on it to where it's like, okay, hey, this guy sucks. Let's see if we can find another guy that sucks and link them up together, and they'll have a fun time. But instead, they're like,
and they'll both suck.
Yeah, they'll both suck, and they'll have a fun time, and it'll be fine. But instead, it's like, this guy over here is like won 60 of his 70 matches. Go for it. You've played 10 and you've lost all of them. So sure, I'm sure it'll be a great time. I mean, I just don't understand. Like, they do it in Switch Sports. Like, I'm ranked to like C+ in Switch. Now, granted, I understand I'm not always going to be against everybody who's C+. Like, I might, there might be a couple of A's or whatever. It happens from time to time because that's all there was to match up to. But I don't know, man. I am unhappy with this purchase. Very unhappy.
The game isn't flawless. I think there's an issue. There's an issue for me on the player cycle kind of thing. So I haven't played many games where I've been tied up with somebody else. I've always been on my own against. And I think I've had a game where it was me against 4 people, which was ridiculous. It was the way they picture it. It was 2 people on two people per switch and 2 different switches.
Yeah, that's the only way you can play 4 people, as I understand it. You can't do 4 switches with 1 person each.
I won that game, nice. But I think I only won that game because they were not playing very well as a team, where it was just me against them.
Mm-hmm.
My only gripe with the game is when it comes to somebody doing a hyper strike. So for people that are Xbox people and haven't heard this, you can get this shiny little orb. You get that, and it gives your players the ability to do, like, basically it's a chance of you getting a perfect goal. But if you get this perfect goal, it gives you 2 points. And when this is happening, you kind of like the player runs up and it'll go into a slow motion sequence, and you get this little bar at the bottom. They've got to kind of stop it in 2 places, a bit like a golf game. And if they get it in the 2 blue sections, hooray, they get this like perfect hyper strike. When it goes into the slow motion, you still have the ability to take them out with an item or tackle them. But they also have the ability to like send an item out as well and knock everybody out of the way. When that happens, when you go to cycle through the players like you do on FIFA, where like you press a button, in this case it's the L button, and it cycles through different players around them. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's an issue with the game or if it's just like I'm doing something wrong. It always chooses a player that's miles away. So I don't have the opportunity to then tackle them. And the for said game where I nearly waterboarded the Switch yesterday was one of those reasons where I was winning. I was like up by a goal. It was 6-5. It was in the dying seconds of the game. And like they performed this perfect hyper strike, and that obviously took them then to 7-6. They won. And it literally the tackle missed. So I went to cycle the person that was right next to them because it had just been a simple tap of the button and then it had been fine. And it gave me somebody else, which was at the top of the screen, away from this person. I was like, great, there's nothing else I can do about this now. It's done. And I just I didn't even let the animation sequence finish. I just put the Switch to sleep, put it back in its case, chucked it on top of the hot tub cover, and was like, no, I'm done with that game. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. And I haven't loaded it up since. I will go back to it because obviously I'm in the club with the dads and stuff. So I will go back to it. But
The dads are like, I mean, so listen, I didn't join the dads club, and I was really excited about it. Like I was talking to Drew and John about like, oh I'm in, it'd be great, it'll be wonderful. And then they said, we don't really want any kids. That's cool. I totally get it. I have Noah. He wanted to be in a club with me. So we joined a different club, and that's fine. Retro Logic. Woo, way to go, Retro Logic. I'm sorry, I'm no help. But man, this game is just frustrating to me, and I don't want to even play it, to be honest. Like, I think we'll probably take on. We beat the cups, the first level of the cups. We'll take on the other level of the cups. I know it's really hard, but maybe we'll learn something from there and be able to play better in online matches. But I put it down and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going back. And I feel I want to like this game so bad.
If you get through those Galactic Cups, I feel that your online game will improve, because I struggled with the first Galactic Cup, and then I've played lots of online matches, and I've gone back to the Galactic Cup, and they're a lot easier because of what I've learned by playing online. I was listening to the Dads After Dark episode today, and they were talking about this. Like, those first cups, I think, were just to get you playing the game. You could button mash your way through them, and they're a breeze.
Yeah, you could.
Where the Galactic Cups, you need to know how to play the game. You need to know when to do the right tackles, when to do the right passes, how to intercept ball-like passes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it's a really good training area to improve your online game.
Well, that's where we'll go next. I'm done with online. I'm sorry, Retro Logic, but I am done with online right now. It is not a fun experience for me. I'm not going back to that. Like, it literally reminds me of like when I play an online shooter. I'm like, well, that's something I did, and I'm never doing it again. I mean, like, I played Halo, and it was like, yep, all right, I still suck at online games. Let's move on. And you can say, or you just need to get good. Hey, that's cool, man. Maybe I do, and I'll own it and move on. But yeah, it's been a disappointing experience. But like I said, I want to get through the other set of cups, and we'll see if that changes. Is that it on that one? You pick the next one, since I shit all over Strikers.
Yeah, well, I'm about to maybe crap all over this one a little bit. So the last game that I played, and I played it for about 20 minutes, was the new Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. Now, you streamed this after the podcast last week, and it looked like a lot of fun. It took me back to like arcade style. I mean, I played Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I played the living crap out of that game, but I think it was because I had a really big love for the film and the comics.
Sure.
I beat the first two levels of Shredder's Revenge. I did the first level with like taking maybe one or two hits towards the end. Bebop was quite a difficult guy to beat. But I don't think it's for me. It's a button mash. It's a side-scrolling button mash Streets of Rage style game.
Yeah, I mean, you've done a great job to describe it. That's what it. I mean, there's a whole bunch of combos, but that pretty much is what it is. I mean, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, when I looked through the moves list, it was like press X X X X X, and then if you want to do a backflip kick, press B and X. If you want to do like the up attack, hold X and A at the same time to do the jump attack. It was kind of like just basically I'm hitting 2 or 3 buttons. There was no block, which really annoyed me. There wasn't an ability to block.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
And the only way you can throw a character is if by just walking up to them, which for me,
I had trouble with that. I really did. That would be my only complaint about the combat for me personally, because I'd walk up and sometimes I'd grab and sometimes I'd just get the crap kicked out of me. And I didn't like that there wasn't like a button push.
Yeah. But other than that, the game's great. It looks great. It's really smooth. It runs well. It plays well. I love the overworld. I like the collectibles. Yeah, the I like that in each level, there's a different thing for you to unlock. Like in the first one, the main reporter for the newspaper is trapped in a cupboard, and you kind of like bust him out the door, and he gives you a different side quest to do, which you can drive around in the van in the overworld and do these different, like, it gives you your progress of doing the side quests. The music's great. I mean, the title screen is fantastic. I think a lot of people have raved for that they can literally sit and replay the title music over and over again. But that's as far as I go. I mean, I'll go back. I'm gonna finish it. I want to finish Ori first because I'm absolutely devoted to that.
Mm-hmm.
So my main rotation for probably the next week or so is going to be Ori and Fall Guys. And then once I finish Ori, I'll go and I'll do a lot with Turtles and get that finished in preparation for whatever's coming next. What is it? Escape Academy is probably the next game I'm going to have a really good go at.
Gotcha. I really love Shredder's Revenge. I thought it was great. It is it I mean, you have described it perfectly. I mean, it's just not a game for you. It's got great it's got great pixel art. It's got great sound. It's a ton of fun. I play these beat 'em up button masher games where it's like, hey, same thing with Trek Diomi. It was like, hey, here's a list of 25 moves you can do. Yeah, I'm too old to remember 25 moves. So like I pare it down to like 3 or 4 moves that I can stick into my brain and remember the entire game. And those are like the 3 or 4 that work the best for me, and I keep those, and that's it. And that's pretty much how I played this game. I played it on normal. There is a hard mode. I didn't try the hard mode. It was pretty easy. I only had to like redo a level once, and that was because they threw in like this surprise mid boss. I didn't realize it was a mid boss, so I thought it was like the ender. It was the only level where there was like a boss and kind of mid boss guy, and so I just kind of played real aggressive because I had all these lives, and then I beat him and realized, oh, I got the boss left, and so that was the only time I actually died and had to retry level. I would lose a life, but I never died in the game except for that once. It was fun. I got to tell you, Sean, I might be too old for nostalgia. Like I don't know if this is a thing, but like I thought I would remember all these people and be like, oh, I know who that person is, or I know what that is, or yeah. Nah. I mean, I would, once I saw them, I would be like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. But like I by name or anything like that, like I couldn't remember him. I couldn't remember what movie they were in. I might be getting too old for this stuff. And I've watched all this stuff. Like I've played the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, watched the movies. But yeah, I don't know. But I really enjoyed it. It wasn't too long. It's only like 3 hour story. There's a lot of, you can party up with a bunch of friends and do it that way. I did not party up with anybody because I'm a loser. I played it all by myself. And but yeah, and you can do that just fine. The difficulty level spike not spikes, but the difficulty level moves and shifts with depending on how many people are playing. So
yeah, which is the same as all of them. It was like that with Golden Axe when you used to be able to play on the Mega Drive together. Mm-hmm. Streets of Rage was the same. So
yeah, it works really well that way. So yeah. I think that's everything, isn't it?
Yeah, that's everything I've played. Like I said, I haven't had a great deal. I've played a lot more Strikers than I have of anything else, just mainly because I can take my Switch everywhere with me. So,
yep, I understand that completely. I did beat Box Boy and Box Girl. I don't know if I mentioned that. So, my mom and I beat that. So that's been fun. I think I did that 2 weeks ago when we didn't talk about games. But that's about it. Do we want to chat about what our next game is going to be for the Hunters?
We can do, yeah. I mean, I'm really excited for this. So the last time we did the achievement hunts, it was for Bug Snacks, and that got snapped up by somebody from the Carpool.
Hey Chan.
Hey Chan from the Carpool karaoke crowd. So congratulations to her. She not only did she get the Grand Hunter, but she also won the $15. So yeah, congratulations. So this time around, it's going to be Fall Guys. I'm super excited for this. I've had a look through the achievements, and a lot of them are very easily done. There's a couple that like you have to unlock legendary and rare equipment and equip those, but that can be done if you buy the season pass. Can also be done if you don't. It just takes a little bit longer to get those kind of bits and pieces. But then the rest of them are all like, get your first crown, things like that, run for so many thousand seconds, stuff like that. So it's quite easily done. So the same rules apply as last time. Play the game, unlock the achievements. Once you feel like you've gone as far as you can, or if it's the last day, get a screenshot or a photo of that, including your gamer tag sent to me and Nick. You can email it to us at gamepassnewscast@gmail.com, or hit us up on Twitter or in the Discord, or even leave a comment on the video for this on YouTube, and just leave it there, or your information, and you want to get in touch with us there. And I think I put the closing date for this as the end of July, just to give people a good amount of time. So it gives you like a month and a quarter to kind of get into this.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm pumped. Remember, 5 achievement points equals 1 entry, so you do not have to 100% this game or anything to win. It's not about that. So 5 achievement points equals 1 entry. Yeah. Every entry gets you a chance for a $15 Xbox card.
There's 34 achievements in total, with a grand total of 1,000 gamer score. So,
and you know what? This is a crossplay game that just dropped on the Switch. I will tell you, I won't hold you to an Xbox card. So if you're playing this on the Switch, or if you'd rather it be, if you have an Xbox, but you're giving us achievement points, but you'd rather it be to the Switch or something like that, then that's fine. We'll do it that way too. So, but It's got to be achievement points, unfortunately. So, or fortunately, whatever. I don't care. And then there is whoever gets the most. Whoever does 100% the game, or even if they don't, whoever gets the most achievement points and enters the quickest will get a Grand Hunter pin, which I have over here. By the way, I just, K-Chan, I'm sorry, I just sent out your pin. I realized I forgot as I was getting these out. I have not done it yet, so I did do it today. So you're getting yours late, but we will post this on Twitter as well. That's what it looks like. It's a nice acrylic pin. That will go to the winner, the one who gets the most achievement points the quickest. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it'll be the most, the quickest, or the first person that gets 100%.
Yes.
You must play a lot of this game to get 100%. So good luck to you guys.
Awesome. So yeah, are we GPN showcasing this?
No, we do have one question. If you want to,
we'll answer. You do it. Whoops, I missed it.
Yeah. So we have got a question about Persona 5, which has come from John from the Dads After Dark. How many hours of Persona 5 Royal will you play on a scale of 0 to 100 hours, where 0 is none and 100 is I might be close to rolling credits?
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'm gonna say I will play 0.
Yeah, there you go. There, that question answered. but we are in, or I have been in conversations with John about having him on closer to Persona dropping on Game Pass, because he has played it, and I feel like these games like Persona, League of Legends, games like this, we should have somebody on to actually talk about it, and not just you and me being like, yeah, we don't play that game, move on. It's just like a huge moment in Xbox to have this game, right? Yeah, Simple Monk says 0 as well. Yeah, we're all here, but I don't want to do that to our listeners. I think it deserves more than that. So we want to have somebody on, and that person hopefully will be John. To talk about Persona and kind of just give us what it's about and tell our listeners what it's about before it drops on Xbox.
That should be that entire show should be an interesting conversation. So
yeah. I mean, we allow traders that move over to PlayStation to come on the show. See, I just want you to. I mean, that's fine. No big problem. Not bitter at all.
Does that mean we're going to let Hambo and Johnny come back?
Oh, Hambo, no. John literally just shipped his Xbox down a river somewhere and was like, PlayStation, and planted a new flag. Hambone's just cheating, and that's cool. I cheat with the Switch.
So yeah, so thanks very much everybody for watching. If you want to find us, you can do so on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Everything is at Game Pass News. If you want to join in the Discord, ask us some questions, or just basically chat to us, because we're a nice group of guys to chat to. Head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. $1 a month gets you access to the Discord there. Or subsequently, you can subscribe to our Twitch channel, and that'll get you in too. Thanks very much for Simple Monk and Hambone Johnny for jumping in on the live chat. And to everyone else that's here with us or has been listening or is going to listen, we'll see you next time.
See you later, guys.